When my brother got arrested, my parents emptied every dollar to get him out. When I needed money for surgery, my dad said, "If one of you has to go, it's better you than him." Mom didn't even blink. I just said, "Thanks for showing me where I stand." 4 months later, I made a move that took everything from them. Now they're begging me to come home. "You're always so sensitive, Aaron. Why do you make everything about you?" "Because it was about me, Mom. I was on that hospital bed, alone, and you both just walked away. We did what we had to. You've always been stronger. He's fragile." "So I should have just died quietly to keep things easy for you?" "Don't twist our words. Then say them clearly." I looked between them. "Say you chose him over me, and you'd do it again." Silence. "Oh, yes," my father said. "I would. My name is Aaron Malik. I'm 29 years old, and I used to believe that if you were the quiet one, the steady one, the responsible one, people would love you for it. They don't. They just expect more from you until you break. And when you do, they don't even notice. Let me tell you how I found that out. It began with my older brother, Zane. He's 33 now, and I've lost track of how many times he's been in trouble with the law, drugs, theft, assault, identity fraud. The last arrest made headlines in our community in Houston, Texas, because it happened during a church fundraiser. He was caught trying to break into the donation box in the back hallway. That was arrest number 4. And just like every time before, my parents, Yusuf and Ablayla Malik, ages 63 and 60, treated it like a tragedy happening to them, not one their son created. My mom wept at the station like she'd lost her firstborn in war. My dad didn't even raise his voice. He went into fix-it mode, called lawyers, cashed out his IRA, borrowed from friends, even sold off a rental property they owned in Sugar Land. They dropped nearly $78,000 in 3 weeks. No questions, no hesitation. I didn't say anything. What could I say? I'd seen this movie before. But a few months later, my own crisis came, and it didn't come quietly. I'd been dealing with brutal fatigue and chest pain for weeks. Collapsed at work one day, rushed to the ER. Diagnosis: myocarditis. An inflammatory condition of the heart, dangerous, treatable, but I needed surgery. Soon. And insurance didn't cover all of it. My out-of-pocket cost was $2,300. I didn't panic. I asked my parents, and that's when I learned exactly where I stood. "No, it's not like we don't want to help," my dad said. "But you'll bounce back." Zane wouldn't. "You just gave him your entire retirement fund." That was different. "Why?" "Because if one of you had to go," he said, without blinking, "it's better you than him." And then my mom gently added, "He's always needed us more. You've always been fine, strong, independent." I stared at them. "So you're saying I'm not worth saving?" No answer, just silence. And that silence was the loudest answer of all. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I stood up, walked out of their house in Pearland, and never went back. But I didn't forget. I moved in with my coworker, set up a GoFundMe. Friends pitched in. My boss advanced me part of my salary. The surgery happened. It was rough. I couldn't walk without help for 3 weeks. I couldn't drive for 2 months. Not a single visit, not a single call. My parents knew. I told them. Still nothing. But then something strange happened. One of my old friends from high school, he's a junior associate at a financial firm, called me. "Hey, I think your brother did something crazy," he said. He had access to mortgage documents for properties under audit. Turns out Zane had forged our dad's signature, took out a $380,000 loan on the family home, and used that cash to finance God knows what, crypto scams, gambling, maybe even a new identity. There was paper trail, voice memos, fake IDs, and a recorded phone call where he openly said, "My dad's name's worth more than his life anyway." I had everything. I could have destroyed him, and by extension them, with one email. So I did. I sent anonymous packets to the FBI's mortgage fraud division, the hot lender, and a local investigative journalist in Houston. I knew the system well enough to navigate it quietly. Within weeks, the hammer dropped. The house was seized. Zane was arrested again, but this time, the charges were federal. And my parents? They lost their home, their retirement, their reputation, everything. Me? I moved to Seattle. Got a job with a fintech startup. 6 figures. Apartment overlooking Puget Sound. Healthier than I'd been in years. Then the calls started. "Aaron, please, just pick up. Zane's gone. We lost everything. You're all we have now." I didn't block them. I let the phone ring. Sometimes I answered, just to say nothing, until finally I agreed to meet. We sat in a small cafe in downtown Seattle. Dad looked hollow. Mom looked 20 years older. "You did this," Dad said, voice cracking. "No," I replied. "Zane did. You just let him. We're your parents, and I was your son, but you made your choice." My mom reached out. I didn't flinch, but I didn't move closer either. "We're sorry, Aaron." "You're desperate," I said. "That's not the same thing." I stood up. "I forgive you." They looked relieved. Then I added, "But I'm never coming back." And I left. That was 8 months ago. I still get calls, still get texts, some angry, some pleading, but peace has finally found me. Not because they changed, but because I did. Sometimes the greatest act of love is walking away from those who never chose you, no matter how much you once needed them to. If this story struck a nerve, hit like, subscribe for more real-life reckonings, and share this with someone who needs the reminder: being the strong one doesn't mean you deserve to be abandoned.